So the Monster Hunter Wilds beta just ended, and I only played like 2 hours yesterday because I didn't have the time to play the entire beta. And I'm going to tell you that the complaints that people had about the performance are correct. I wanted to experience for myself the performance issues because I wanted to corroborate that what people were telling was correct, and it is indeed a problem. The performance of Monster Hunter Wilds, it's a fucking joke. People said that this is an old build, that Capcom has stated that they have a better version of the game that runs much better. I am hesitant to believe that because I know how companies work, I know how fanatics work too, and these fucking idiots are just going to take everything this company says at face value because they are fanatics. They don't exercise critical thinking, they are just fucking retarded, they are just NPCs. The issue with this is that if you go ahead and read the system requirements of this game on Steam, you will see something really fucking quote-unquote funny. It's not funny, but let's go with that. It says for minimum requirements, at the bottom of the minimum requirements says additional notes. SSD required. This game is expected to run at 2080p, upscale from 720 native resolution, 30 FPS under the quote-unquote lowest graphics settings, direct storage supported. Of all of what I read, the key part is the part that says upscale from 720 native resolution. This means that this game requires you to use DLSS or any upscaling technology like FSR and shit like that. If we go to the recommended specs and we go to the additional notes, it says SSD required. This game is expected to run at 2080p, 60 FPS with frame generation enabled under the medium graphics settings. Once again, the key part on what I just read is the at 2080p 60 FPS with frame generation enabled. Are you fucking kidding me? This is just fucking wild. Maybe that's why they named this game Monster Hunter Wilds, because of the wild shit they are putting on the system requirements. Because how can you put DLSS, upscaling technologies, and even frame generation as a requirement? I have been saying this in all of my reviews, that this is a fucking problem. I have been talking about this on all of my reviews. Ever since these technologies were released, developers have become more and more lazy in the optimization of their games. They have been relying on this technology for doing the job they are not doing. They want this technology to make the work they are not willing to do. And this has been the case for a while now. These technologies, these upscaling technologies, frame generation technologies, are not meant for developers to be lazy motherfuckers that are not willing to optimize their fucking games. These technologies were meant for people that wanted to squish more power from their hardware, not for these developers to just fucking use them now as a requirement to even run their games at 30 FPS or 60 FPS. This is fucking insane, and I have been telling this for a while now, and I am sure I am not the only one that has noticed this fucking trend. Don't get me wrong, I like these technologies, I think they are great, but for the purpose they were made for, and their original purpose was to help the players, the customers. It wasn't made as a crutch to help lazy cunt developers, and this can be a thing. We can't allow these motherfuckers to just now in the system requirements demand us to have DLSS or frame generation. What about the people that don't have a way to enable these technologies? What about them? This is stupid. If any of you played the Monster Hunter Brothers Wild Beta, you will notice that even with frame generation enabled, the game runs like fucking shit. And fanatics want me to believe that the game is going to be perfectly optimized on the release date 4 months from now? I don't think so. There is a reason these motherfuckers are saying what they are saying in their system requirements. Because they know their fucking game is a piece of shit in terms of optimization. They know it, I know it, everybody knows it.
You know it, I know it, everybody knows it.
We all know it. We need to push back against this type of shit, because otherwise gaming is going to be even more in shambles than what already is. This situation is going to make gaming even worse for every one of us. Oh, but I don't care because I have a 4090 and it runs very smooth. It doesn't. You are just fucking lying and you're a piece of shit. Not everybody has the money to just buy a 4090 and compensate for the lack of work these motherfuckers don't put on their fucking games. Not everybody has that kind of money. It's not feasible. In fact, it's a fucking mistake to do this kind of shit, because this will represent not only less sales but also bad marketing. And this is why it is important to know how fanatics damage the fucking industry, because these motherfuckers don't even mention this shit. Everybody noticed the performance issues and they deny them, and nobody mentions this kind of shit that I'm telling you. Now, I'm not the only one saying this. There has been many bigger channels, much bigger channels that have talked about this, but nobody says this in the community. I mean, not content creators, I mean the community. If you talk about the performance issues, nobody mentions that this motherfucking game, these motherfucking developers are asking you to have DLSS as a requirement or even frame generation. This is looking really fucking bad for that game, and really bad for us as consumers, because this means that these fucking technologies are going to be a requirement now, because they were kind of where most of the games that I have reviewed, including that piece of shit game that people sim for Wukong, requires you to use frame generation and DLSS. This can be happening. We shouldn't allow this shit. The performance of the game is bad, as with every fucking game these days. Game developers are more lazy. With the launch of tech like DLSS and FSR, frame generation, etc., the developers only became way more lazy. They do the bare minimum to optimize their games and leave everything to the AI and this fucking tech. Don't get me wrong, I love these fucking technologies, but what I do not love is how these were supposed to be helping the player to squeeze more from their hardware, and not for lazy cunt developers that overprice video games.
What the fuck was that?
And can't even be bothered to optimize their garbage. It's plagued by a ton of technical problems like bad frame rates, stuttering, constant crashes, borderless full screen doesn't even work properly, you're basically playing in full screen mode and changing to another window, it's a fucking chore due to the situation. On release, it didn't have DLSS support frame generation. When I reached the apartment section, I could not even play the game anymore due to the game crashing constantly in startup. Fortunately, a patch release that fixed this and introduced DLSS 3 frame generation 15 days after release or so. This is why it will stay as a bad point. I will repeat the same thing I said on my Wukong review. I am tired of these fucking developers using DLSS as a crutch to not optimize their fucking games. It was supposed to be a tool for people to squish more performance. It wasn't supposed to be a way for developers to be lazy fucks and not optimize their fucking games. The performance is even worse than in the base game, if you can even believe that shit.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
How the fuck you even do this shit? How the fuck can this happen? I don't understand. How is it possible that you have 2 years to even improve your base game performance, and not only you don't do it, but you make a DLC, release it, and the performance is even fucking worse. Fucking shameful behavior. Fucking shame. I already hear the fucking fanboys. It's your shit hardware, it's your potato PC. The only thing that is potato, it's your fucking brain. I have a 4070 Ti, I have 64 gigs of RAM, I have an i5 13600K. My PC should have zero fucking issues running this game. And instead of that, I see dips to even 30 FPS. And yes, I am using ray tracing. Why shouldn't I use ray tracing if my PC is perfectly capable to handle it? I played Cyberpunk with path tracing enabled at 100 FPS. What the fuck is this shit? And all of this is in 1440p. So I don't see any reason why I shouldn't be playing with ray tracing on, unless ray tracing is fucking badly implemented, which is fucking true. This game performance is a fucking disaster. It has been a disaster since release. They locked the game to 60 FPS because they know their performance above 60 FPS is fucking garbage. You can go and mod the game to enable higher than 60 FPS. You will find out that fucking game can't even maintain higher than 60 FPS when it's unlocked. The frame rate when you unlock the FPS, it's all over the place. So it's easier for them to just lock the game to 60 FPS, do the minimal effort and force everybody to play to 60 FPS, because if you go ahead and mod the game, you will be unable to play online. This game, performance wise and on a technical standpoint, is fucking garbage. Stop defending this shit. But the problem is that most of you are fucking fanatics and are not willing to push back against this shit, because you make your whole personality revolve around what games you play. You have a mental illness, you motherfucker, you have a mental disorder. You can't be making your whole personality the games you play, the games you enjoy. That is not sane. And this is why these people react the way they react to criticism, because they truly believe their fucking identity revolves around whatever the fuck they play, whatever the fuck they like. Because this fucking attitude, this fucking mental disorder doesn't just stop in video games. No, this fanaticism plagues and revolves and dominates their entire lives. It's fucking narcissism too. These people have low self-esteem and they have to compensate this low self-esteem with things they like. This is why they want the things they like to be popular, to have tons of views, tons of concurrent users, tons of people watching, tons of people playing, because that is self-validation. They feel validated by the amounts of people that share their own tastes. This fucking stupid. They are fucking sheep, NPCs, and we should push against this shit. But we don't have the numbers, we don't have the people, because these motherfuckers have safe spaces like Reddit, like GameFAQs, like Discord, like Steam discussions, where they are protected. Fanboyism, fanaticism is protected, and we need to push back against this shit. But these people, these are not people anymore, they are fucking NPCs, they are fucking tools, are not criticizing this shit. This is why it is important to attack the fanaticism, to destroy fanaticism, because with that in place, it is impossible that we have real pushback. I mean, we can have it, but it is going to be harder. And this is why these companies like fanatics, like fanaticism, and they encourage it. They protect these people because they know these pieces of shit that are not even people anymore are going to buy whatever the fuck they push out. It doesn't matter, like in this case, that it's an unplayable fucking game. It doesn't matter that this fucking game irrationally demands you to have DLSS for the lowest fucking settings, or demands you to have frame generation to even achieve 60 FPS at 2080p. It's fucking unreal. It's fucking retarded. Society is truly doomed. It's truly fucking doomed. Gaming is fucking doomed. For starters, gaming is fucking doomed. We can't accept this shit anymore. We can't. These technologies are amazing, but when they are used for their original purpose, not when fucking game developers, lazy game developers, don't want to put the work to optimize their fucking games. These fucking companies, fuck them. Fuck them. We don't have to accept this shit. We don't have to accept this treatment. We're paying customers. It's just like with Denuvo. Everybody knows Denuvo most of the time has issues that affect the performance of games, but people like to deny it because they are retarded, and these people actually believe they own their fucking games. These fucking retards, these fucking fanatics think that they actually own the games they buy on Steam. They are fucking stupid. This year, Steam forced companies to put a disclaimer that explains basically that you don't own the game you purchase. You just buy a license. Everybody knew that was the case, but they added that disclaimer this year for some reason. And the people that actually defend Denuvo, they actually think that they own their fucking games. And if they don't think that, then they are just fucking hateful retards. And it is fucking funny because if you pirate a game, you actually own the game. Because you can just go and save it in a hard drive and it's going to be there for you to play it whenever you fucking want. But if Steam goes down, say bye-bye to your fucking games. You don't own your games. So defending the Nubo is just retarded. What can you expect from these fucking idiots? They are fanatics. They clearly don't use their fucking brains. So we need to push back against frame generation and DLSS as a requirement to gaming. We can't have that. We can't have that shit. The fact that they are putting those as a requirement now shows that we are fucked. We are fucked because the normies and the fucking fanatics are allowing this shit to happen. It's the same fucking thing that happened with pay-to-win games, with paid DLC, the Nubo, as I said, and all of the things that have harmed the gaming industry. It's because of those fucking imbeciles, the normies and the fanatics. Basically, we failed at gatekeeping our hobbies. And not even that, because these companies have pushed for a long time now for quote-unquote broader audiences, modern audiences, and shit like that. So the only thing we can do is push against this shit the best we can. Make a thread on most of the fucking platforms you can, in a way that is not going to be deleted, because like I said, these fucking fanatics, these social media platforms like Reddit, GameFAQs, Discord, Steam discussions and shit like that are cesspools of fanatics, and they are the protected class there. So you better make the thread or make your voice heard in a way that they are not going to delete your fucking thread, because that won't help anybody. Make videos, do fucking something, and better yet, don't fucking buy this fucking shit. Trust me, the issues of Monster Hunter Wilds were real. The performance issues were real. I don't have footage because I fucked up. I was recording Dragon Age Veilguard gameplay before that, and I forgot to change the source. So I don't have the fucking footage for that. I'm sorry. Like, I fucked up. But it doesn't even matter because trust me, you don't need me. You don't need my fucking 2 hours of gameplay to see that what I'm telling you is truth. Just go and search it. Search it. There is a ton of fucking memes already about the horrible performance of this fucking game. It is so bad that they are making memes about Monster Hunter Roblox Edition, Monster Hunter Wilds, Minecraft Edition. It is wild. It is actually really wild. So with that being said, that will be all for this video. And remember, push back against this shit. If you care about gaming, you need to push back in any way, shape or form you can. And also ridicule the fanatics, expose them. They are the fucking cancer of this industry, on all industries to be honest.